Okay, and then what I'm gonna really do here is I'm gonna pull up some like more cinematic percussion. We're gonna make it a little bit modern here. See what we can do. Make this kind of interesting. So I'm gonna go to damage, and there's some plastics that I really like. I think it's in ethnic drums? No, ethnic organics. Plastics. Yeah. So let's take this rhythm, and on the latter half here, go ahead and put that. On the latter half we can, on the latter half we can bring that up, so. Yep, things are getting weird really quickly, but that's, I mean, honestly, Mars is kind of weird. And actually, if we're gonna end it, I think what I'd like to do is, like if we're just ending it here, like if we're just writing like a subtle reference to Mars, I think what we should do is on those brass, on these, we should just bring them in. Yeah, now we're getting somewhere, and then bring this right here. But then we can actually probably leave this doing the thing that it needs to be doing. Yep, that kind of makes sense to me. And then we did have a solo trumpet. That might be like, that might be good to go. Or something. Something like that. Yeah, something like that might be okay. Less pansy on the velocities because it's supposed to be big. Yeah. Yep, what is our snare drum? Our snare drum needs to keep going. We're definitely missing some stuff here because we're moving so quickly. That needs to keep going, that needs to keep going. Bass drums come in, timpani. I would probably want another timpani roll here. This is a roll and a hit, same thing we had earlier. Maybe. No, actually I don't think I do. Let's see, what else? Is there anything we're missing in terms of this? We've got these doing their thing, except it needs to be cut to, where is it? Right on this line. Yeah, it's starting to peak on y'all's end, so I'm going to turn it down a little bit. But we're definitely getting somewhere, and I think this is a good start of like how we would be mimicking Mars with all of this brass moving in the percussion. I think if I really wanted to dig in, which I might, like if I really want to build this, let me build this really quickly if I can. Yeah, let's try to do some, let's start to really build this. Yeah, something there. There was definitely something on that. And so then once that section starts, see if we can. Go full cinematic, but We're not doing that yet. That's pretty good though. Yeah, that actually might be pretty good. So I want that rhythm. It's 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2. If I did it at half, so I go. So if it's instead of 1 2 3 1 2 3, I'm going 1 2 3, and then I do 1 2 3 1 2. That makes a lot of sense to me. So it's going to be, instead of eighth notes, it's going to be quarter notes. Yeah, that's starting to make sense, but let me make sure that it enters at the appropriate thing here. And then it would be 1 2 3 1 2. Yeah, it's kind of cool. And then there would have that triplet in there. So it's going to be the quarter note triplet probably. So yep. And then what did we have again? We had quarter note triplet, which takes up, well, we have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, and we're doing basically a bar of 7, which is 1 2 3 1 2 1 2, right? So 1 2 3 1 2 1 2, which I could also potentially syncopate against with quarter notes, like 3 quarter notes and an eighth note. That's kind of weird. So what if I did like 2 quarter notes, which is really syncopating against it, and eighth notes for the rest? So something like that. Something like that. And my velocities here are I'm going to randomize them a little bit more, which I'll just show you guys how to do that real quick. If you're a Cubase user, you can just go to MIDI modifiers. I actually have them already. So I have position and velocity up and down a little bit, because in order to get percussion to sound realistic, percussion is never perfectly quantized in time. Nothing is ever perfectly quantized in time. So if the position is off just ever so slightly, you can just quantize and then move from there. So I think I'll do that, but I'll only have the low ones for now, and then it'll come in more. So in terms of like level where these are at, I need my melodic elements to be a lot louder, which is definitely a difficult thing to do. So I'm actually, for now, I'm just putting those at max in terms of expression in CC7. Just for the melodic elements. Actually, let me do it for my winds. I don't really want to forget about my winds. This is primarily a brass exercise, but I don't want to forget about them. And then the one legato, which is actually, that's doubling the trombones. So yeah, it only happens once. Yep, okay. Let's listen from the top and see what I think we're missing. Okay, that was actually, obviously my levels were not perfectly there, right? Like my percussion is quite a bit too loud. But that was actually not bad in terms of where we were going and emulating the idea. The bassoon, I don't know what happened with this. It was really, really loud. But actually, I think we have a pretty good rundown of like the first couple minutes of Mars. We basically consolidated the concept into 1 minute with the trade-offs and everything. What I think I would do moving forward, though, is all of these sections. There's not a whole lot going on here, and that's kind of true for how it works with Mars as well. But I think I want these like just a little bit lower, and then these a little bit higher than that one, and then these a little bit higher than that one, and then these get to where they're at. So theoretically, so there's like a curve on that, and same thing, it's going to be the same stuff here, right? And so I'm just selecting all of these. So I keep my general ratio of the velocities, but then I'm just selecting that next section, the next section functionally, instead of like doing an actual linear or exponential curve. That way we get the curve, right? We get a general curve shape without losing all of our intricacies of the inner notes in between. And so I'd probably do the same thing over here, actually. So I'd probably lower this, not too much, but at least some. And then once we really get into it, things would just start coming in like forte and fortissimo and stuff like that. That way we have some level of dynamics at the beginning there. And then I think everything else is sounding good. For me, I really need the brass. I want the brass to be pretty aggressive. So if I were to do a very, very like hyper quick mix on this, I would probably, I'd probably just throw a 2A onto everything temporarily as like the default thing here. And we can just, I'll just play the biggest section to get a general mix of the biggest section. So I'm just going to loop this, hit this, loop this. Pause it for a second to explain this right here. I don't want that deep of a cut, but I do actually want some level of a cut for my lows, even for my low brass and stuff, because the percussion is actually hitting deeper than that stuff is. So just something like that. And then we can actually probably delete all of this mess right here. Probably do something very similar for that. I'd like to keep it in the low strings. I want the low string hit. Let's just throw the 2A on. It probably won't be doing much right from the get-go. And actually, I realize I want the 2A after what I'm about to do, which is because we're doing a more modern version a little bit. Well, hang on, before I get into that, my percussion needs like some kind of bus on it. Typically with percussion, I'll be honest, I would typically parallel compress it. Right now I'm not going to parallel compress it. I'm just going to throw like a standard bus compressor on it. So I'll just do something like this. is my bass drum and my taikos are labeled as mid, and I need them to be large. And I need my timpani also to be labeled as large, and I think I want my plastics probably as large. Those weren't even routed at all. So I'm going to do large unpitched percussion for that. And did I use the Armageddon ensemble? We can probably keep that one mid. But for now, I need my timpani. Those are in large pitched percussion. Right, large pitched percussion. Haven't even thought about the fact that I have pitched percussion stuff. This clarinet, not a fan. Not a fan of this clarinet right now. So let's go to, goodness gracious. It can be strong, but it can't be that much of a mix. Yeah, and then so everything here has a little bit of something going on, little low cut here. I think I want the low impact of the low string, so actually I want this to be a bit more aggressive. I would probably use the 76 on that normally if it's going to be shorts like that for the most part instead of a 2A, but I think we're fine. And then everything else is going well. So one thing I definitely want to do is I want my brass to have a little bit more bite. I can do that with a saturator. I actually like to do it with distortion. So. I like to do it with strings too. So I'll add a little saturator, like, do I have any saturator that I really like right now that isn't just tape saturation? I mean, I could do it with BPB. Obviously, I'm starting to clip the master because I didn't gain stage this properly. So I'm just gonna turn the master down, which please don't ever do that. That's not really your solution. But because I wrote this in 50 minutes, I mean, realistically, the actual solution would be to have my gain staging correct, which would be having my pre-gains of everything set down pretty low. Yeah, it's getting messy very quickly. Mixing this kind of stuff is not always the easiest, especially when you're trying to move quickly. So. Our low strings are just a little too fat, I think. They've got they're like too loud and too clunky. They've got the right amount of saturation on them, I think. Okay, I think we're getting somewhere with it. this would be a general idea of how I would do this. In fact, in this situation, I might just do this, I mentioned this in a previous video, but let's just see. Let's give ozone a shot and see what ozone does as a quick balance of this. I might keep the reverb a little bit tighter even, so like even less. And let's just give ozone a shot and play this section and see what happens. I definitely want like a low shelf or something on my big percussion. Okay, you guys get the general idea of what we're going for here. So I think that's a pretty reasonable mock-up emulating what the orchestration is in Gustav Holst's Mars. Again, there's a little bit of mixing work to do for sure. By a little bit, I mean a lot of it, but the orchestration overall is working. And we did that in about an hour to emulate the orchestra for Mars. And let's just go ahead and show what we actually did. So only show tracks with data between locators. This is about an hour's worth of work. That's not bad, I would say. I'm still not completely happy with everything. I'm gonna let it play and do a little bit of fader adjustment as I let it play, so you guys can hear the final thing here. Yeah, I think that's actually pretty good representation. The only thing I would want is one more like last G hit right here. So I'm just gonna do that real quick so everything gets G as needed. Which is our tonic. It's sort of, we're sitting in a weird tonality, but it's definitely G is the tonic regardless. And so let's see if we can let's get like one hit right here that's percussion and whatnot for everything, just to like close it out basically. Just one big percussion hit from everything. I don't even know what this is. The snare? Yeah, we can have the snare hit right there. Why not? Snare's gonna hit. Let's get the didn't even use a tuba staccato, so I need to write one real quick. Yeah, something like that. You'll notice there's a delay in my playing now because we have ozone on the track. Ozone will give you latency, so you need to work in low latency mode if you're actually writing. My plan here wasn't to write, so wasn't really what I had in mind. You hear how distorted that is, but man, it does help it come through, doesn't it? Helps it bite. So that's the trumpet, staccatos, horns. I'm good not putting a horn one in there just because we didn't write it. I don't want to be lazy, but oboe? Oh, is it? Okay. Fine, I'll put the horn in just because I miss it. I can hear myself missing it. Is it this? Nope. Is it this? Yep. Let's just do it here. Needs to be up an octave. I think right there. Actually, I want it up there. Yeah. Okay. I actually think I'm kind of happy with that. So we've got quite a bit more. I'm gonna have you guys listen to it one more time, just because I kind of want to mix it. So might as well do it live, right? So we're gonna go from the top, and I'm gonna do a very, very quick mix, and then I'm not adjusting anything after this, so it's not gonna be perfect. But for a hour-long writing and mixing, I think it's actually pretty good. Yeah, I think that's pretty decent. I didn't see what level we were getting at for mastering, but I think it's pretty decent. As a general rule, I know I said that was going to be it, but I can't leave it alone. As a general rule, my legatos, I want my legatos generally just up more than my staccatos. Anytime a legato comes in for the actual mixing purposes of it, I want more of that. And specifically, I want it for the brass, not really anything else. So I'm actually just gonna up the gain of those a little bit on the pre-gain. Yeah, think that's pretty good for an hour. There's obviously some stuff in here that I would change, some little transitions, like some little swell-ins when there's triplets happening and swell-ins into transitions and whatnot. Oh, we need one timpani hit. Jacob, how dare you not put that in? But yeah, I think that's actually pretty good. So that's probably how I would orchestrate brass. I think Mars is a great example, and this is a very interesting, it's a slightly more modern example if you want to think about it that way. It's not modern, but it's more modern. And I think you can definitely reference stuff like that. Many people will say that John Williams used this as reference for Star Wars, and there's lots of stuff out there that references this piece of music. So go listen to some music, reference it, and see if you can recreate some of those ideas. Write your own music. It's great if you can do a mock-up of the piece of music itself and produce it very well. But I just wanted to make my own piece of music using those ideas. So yeah. All right. Hope you enjoyed.